All right, market update. I'm just gonna go over a few stocks here. Some stocks I have interest in right now. Tesla's first. Everyone's bearish on this. Bulls are losing hope. We're in demand. We filled the gap. We're still above the we're not above the 20 DMA anymore, but that's at 168.20. I would like to see it close above 168.20. That would give me a little bit less anxiety going into the weekend. But we are in demand here, so I've been following supply and demand the whole way. I sold all my calls up here. I bought puts. I sold those puts too early, but I added more around here. Just recently got rid of all my puts in here because we're in demand. So I was like, I gotta get rid of all these puts. I bought a call at 172 to add on to my 165 January 2025 calls. Those are down obviously because I bought them up here, but right now, as long as this holds the 20 DMA into the close, let's just look at where we're at. So we have A down, B here, the 1.61 fib is basically right where we hit. Right there, we hit it basically exactly. And this took 2 days, this took 7 days, no, 5 days. Total of 7 days. I think 7 days, yeah, 7 days. So I'd be looking for about 3 to 4 days down. What is today? The 10th. We hit the 1.61 fib. We're in demand. So I think we're ready for, at the minimum, a corrective bounce. But potentially, you can't really say these things with confidence, but potentially, we're ready for that next move higher to 240. This projected, it would say 240 by next Friday. Obviously, it sounds crazy. That would be a, what would that be, like a, I guess that would only be about a 30% move higher. Let's just see. No, a little bit higher than that. It'd be like a 40%, 35%. Let's try 0.37. So, yeah, it'd probably be about 40 or 45% move over the next week. So that's a pretty big move. So obviously that seems like it's unlikely. So what could happen is we just get a corrective bounce. I don't know where we go. Maybe it even comes up here just like 185, 190. And then we sell off and come to a lower low like this into like June. That's possible too. Because if you look back here to January move, look what happened. We had a big move lower, it started recovering, and then sold off hard. That took about 2.5 months. The move up was longer though. This is a month and 10 days. This is only 7 days. So that's why I'm saying this has the same proportions as far as a sell-off for it to be ready to go for the next move higher. It's just a matter of if it happens or not. They could delay it, it could bounce and come lower like this. Maybe it holds demand down here, but that would be below the 20 DMA. So I'm just saying it is set up perfectly for that next leg higher. So we'll see if it get it or not. If not, I'd look for a corrective bounce. On the shorter term time frames, I'm just looking for a bounce up here to 178 minimum. That's a daily supply zone. And you could get something like this too. This is actually more likely in my opinion. They're probably not just going to reward everybody down here. This is how they normally do it. They don't just allow you to make 40% overnight on calls. What they'll more likely do is something like this. And then on this move, you get that. So this could end up being actually like this. This is probably more likely. And then you get, this would take a little bit longer. But let's just say you get something like this. And then everyone's like, oh, it's a double top. Pull back here, and then boom. Big move higher. Something like that. And then that would only be the third wave, and then you get a fourth wave pullback like this. and then you get that 5 waves up here to the target, which is about 240. And I'll show you where I got that target here in a second. So yeah, obviously they're not going to have some news down here. This is not going to happen. On the move in January, move in January was a little bit different though. It was just choppy down here, big move. It was just choppy the whole time. There wasn't a big gap up really the whole time. But I think in this case, with all the negative headlines and stuff, it's more likely we get a small run up, and then eventually, after we go up like 10%, we pull back and we get a huge move higher after that. They're not going to do it from the lows. So, I would say this is probably more likely than getting a B wave. I think we're probably ready to go. So I'm ready for a bounce up here and some chop maybe over the next couple of weeks. Go higher, you know, suck in the bears, make them think that they are going to get a good price in their puts, pull back, and then blast through it. And the reason I think we're going to 240 or 250, and what I'm really looking at now is a contracting triangle now. This makes a lot of sense to me. So that would look like and then maybe in 2025 this. So if you're in this stock, I would be ready to sell up here because you don't want to go through this again probably. If you really want to hold on to your stock for that long, then you have to sell some covered calls way out. I would sell them like 6 months out, probably at the money. So you're collecting enough premium to offset the painfulness of this. So this could happen quick. This one took 6 months. Let's see how long this took. This took about 14 months. This took about 10 months. So maybe this one would be quicker. This would only be about a month. So we'll see if it happens or not. And again, it could be the next move higher, the next leg higher. But I'm just saying, if we get up here to monthly supply, there's going to be a lot of profit taking. All the bag holders are going to be selling. So, so yeah, that's pretty much my projection on Tesla. I do want to see above the 20 DMA close today, though, so we can have a nice bounce next week into 178 to 180. So that's Tesla. SPY, I think it's more likely that SPY is just going to keep on going up. That's my thoughts on it because, so right here is the third and fourth wave of the third wave, and then I have this as 1, 2, 3, 4. So if this works out, fifth wave should be coming here soon, probably 524, 525. And then I'd be looking for a fourth wave next week. So this would probably happen early next week, 524. We'd pull back for a fourth wave, and then we would get a fifth wave higher up here, maybe into June or July. And then a fourth wave pullback, and then you're probably going to get a big fifth wave. Yeah, everybody bearish, pull back again, and then rip it up higher again. So Tesla might take a little bit longer. We'll see how it goes. But on SPY, I'm pretty bullish still. If it changes, then I will let you know. This does look like an impulse right here, but if you go down to smaller time frames, it can be ABC as well. And just based on what I see from this whole move, if this is WXY, I would have liked to have seen it stop a little bit sooner than that. It went up a little too high. So I'm leaning towards this being a 5-wave move higher, and that was the end of the correction right there. GME, I think that this can go higher still. We'll see though. There's two different possibilities. It could do this too, and then go higher. But if it goes higher from here, it'd probably be a diagonal. This came down pretty far. Something like that. The monthly supply is here at 21.87 to 25.14. I made a video about a week ago saying I was looking for that target. We came about $1.50 from it. So if that ends up being the top, pretty close. But I do think that there's probably going to be another move higher. So we'll see what happens with that. If we zoom out here, though, again, here is the downward falling wedge you're looking at. So similar to Tesla, actually. A little bit different kind of a move, but something like this, maybe even all the way down here to this monthly demand zone at 550. And then I'm looking for a blast off. So A, B, like that. So I think that this is about finished, but I think there's probably a little bit more left. And then it's going all the way down here to 550. Let's see what else we got here. I know I said I was only going to go over a few. SBUX is nice, still running here. I think you can go to $78. And after $78, it's probably going to make a new low. But we'll see. That was my original projection, was 78, or not 70. I was expecting a low, the low here, and then making it move higher. I think it's possible this is still the fourth wave all the way up to 78. We'll see, though. I want to see it hit $78 and then back off and see what kind of move we get. Shopify, I was in this the other day. I sold because I didn't like one of the candles in smaller time frames. And sure enough, it came down lower than $60. It could be heading all the way down here to 50 now. That's your next support at 50. It's below the 200. It's below the 20. And it's below the 50. So you could be heading all the way down here to 48, 49 bucks. Fill this gap. And then that would definitely be a buy there. I bought at 62 and I sold at like 63. I got barely any gain on this stock, but I'm glad I got out. So, shop. I'm going to close this real quick. So, pizza, Papa John's. I'm down on my position on this, but I'm not really that worried about it. You have this move into demand. It's trying to bounce out of there. It's not doing a very good job. And you have a gap here actually from 2020 at 49.75. I think it might be going there. If not, so I think it probably made the C wave here. Maybe I'm wrong. Could be going higher though too. Let's just see. It might come up here to the demand zone, or the supply zone up here at 57 bucks. If that were to happen, then that would still be the fourth wave, in my opinion. I think it's coming down here to 49 bucks eventually. So, I do think that this is going to bounce pretty big after that, though. I think you're looking at something where, let's say we do go to 49 bucks. Something back to at least 74 bucks after that, minimum. Potentially all the way up here, but probably not. Maybe something between 74 and 95 bucks after that. So a lot of opportunity here, even though they didn't have that good of earnings. I'm still holding my position at 57.30, I think. Still only have 300 shares, and I will add if it comes down here to 49.75. See what else you got here. Palantir is just falling and falling and falling. I'll probably do an individual video on this. It just broke. It broke both demand zones straight down. So I think at this point, unfortunately, it looks like the bearish scenario is going to happen down here to 1791. If it breaks below 2033, that would even add more to it. You do have support here, the 200 DMA at 19 bucks, but it's looking more and more like this is going to play out. You know what? It could just come down here to this parallel line though, because look at this. 1850 maybe, but the 1.61 fib of this is at 1693. So you'd think it would bounce first though. You would think that you'd at least get a bounce, but it's just going straight down. I hate the way they pin the stock. It's ridiculous. How do you get a move just like that? It's at the bottom of the 1 hour though, so we'll see what happens with this. Maybe you get a bounce back up here. You have the gap up here at 25 bucks. The warning sign is going to be breaking the 200 DMA. If you break below this and close below it, you're going down here to 17 bucks, maybe even 16 bucks. So watch the 200 DMA. I don't have the 20 on here. Let's get the 20 pulled up. And the 20 is below that too. So you're probably going down here to the 200 DMA at 19 bucks. But again, this could be a short ABC move for the diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. So this kind of supports the theory that we're just going to keep on going higher here. I think most stocks, I'm actually thinking my overall thesis now is that we run straight through like July, maybe into August, and then we have a correction into the election. We have a pretty big correction after that. So I know this is getting kind of long, but it's so hard to see right here. But I think that you're looking at something like this. This is my current thesis. So similar to this move right here, maybe a little bit shorter. My target is actually 597, like that, into the end of July. And then a huge ABC move. Probably back down to the low to mid 500. So let's just see. Yeah, to at least like 535. And that's where everyone's going to think it's the top. And then we get an even bigger move, which could probably take all the way through 2025, 2026, potentially. That's my current thesis right now. So watch for this to keep on running. If it changes and it does start that C wave down here to 480, then I'll let you know. That's all I'm going to talk about in this video. I think everything should be bullish here soon. Potentially after OPEX. I think next week we might see a pullback though in SPY. Move to 524 and then down to 517. So that's it. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe for more updates, and I will catch you in the next video.